This weekend was a pivotal turning point for sidearm users in Destiny 2. Bungie introduced the very first ever sidearm in the history of Destiny that can be adept, and therefore take adept mods. Hand cannon users have the Palindrome, the Time-Lost Fatebringer, now the DFA. Sniper enthusiasts, they've had the Eye of Soul, the Uzume, the Time-Lost Praetus Revenge, the Silicon Aroma, Pulse Lovers, you got the Messenger, the Insidious. I mean, you get the idea. Some weapon types have taken a lot longer to get the adept love from Bungie, and we sidearm lovers, we finally have a solitary one available to us. So this video will ask the question, is this sidearm any good? Is it in fact the best? What's the perk pool like, and how does it stack up against its competition? Let's take a deep dive into that, and you're going to want to stick around for the later discussions in this video, as well as we break down some really important things about this gun that really affect that outcome of that question. Is it the best? So stick around, and first let's take a moment to thank the sponsor of this video. Today's video is sponsored by the global leader in male grooming and hygiene solutions. It's Manscaped. So June is the month of Father's Day, and my father is notoriously hard to shop for. Every Christmas, this guy won't even make a Christmas list. He's just like, surprise me, like I'm some sort of mind reader. But the good news is that Manscaped has continued to develop more and more top shelf products over the recent months. They are now my one-stop shop for all my male grooming and hygiene products. I mean, they've got shampoo and conditioner and body wash and body spray and cologne and lip balm, razors for a nice, clean, smooth shave, and they've got the Mona Lisa, the creme de la creme of electric razors, the Lawnmower 4.0. And I'm telling you, man, this thing works like a dream. It's got skin-safe technology, so no nicks, no cuts. And it's totally waterproof. You take it into the shower, you get yourself nice and clean and smooth without having to deal with all the mess and clean up afterwards. So tell your partner this is something you'd love to have for Father's Day. I mean, you could even pitch it as a bit of a gift to them too. I mean, if we're honest, hair traps, odors, and oils, you want to make sure that you're clean and presentable for the person that you choose to share your heart and your bed with. And that's what being a man is all about. It's doing whatever it takes, no holds barred, to improve the quality of life for those who love and depend on you. Manscaped also just launched their Boxers 2.0. I've had these things for weeks now. They're incredible. And they have some snazzy designs too. These are anti-chafing and they breathe like a dream. So whether it's for you, your dad, or your father-in-law, hey, the Manscaped Lawnmower 4.0 and Boxers 2.0 combo is the perfect gift this year. Go to manscaped.com and use my code Vanguard20 to get 20% off your entire order and completely free shipping. And use that code, anytime you check out at manscaped.com. I use that code all the time. Thanks again, Manscaped, for sponsoring the video today. Let's get back to some Destiny. Okay, so first let me get this out of the way because people hate it when I wait until later in the video to show my roll. So, okay, the forgiveness that you're seeing in the gameplay today, it is a standard one. It is not an adept one. That's because the adept version of this gun has not come out yet. At least not at the time of me posting this video. In order to get a standard forgiveness to drop right now, you need to either hit rank 16 with Saint 14 and claim the sidearm from his rank up tree, or you need to get lucky and have one drop from the Flawless Lighthouse chest. Those are the only two sources right now. I went flawless 6 times this weekend, and I didn't get it to drop out of the chest, so I just ended up playing on a 7-win wealth card until I hit rank 16, and then I claimed it. I focused about 18 of these sidearms and did not get my preferred roll, unfortunately. The best I got is this one in the video. It has Rapid Hit and Demolitionist. You'll notice Rapid Hit is in the second column, right? That's kind of new. Mine also has high caliber rounds, hammer forged rifling, and a ranged masterwork. I slapped an Icarus grip on it as well to bump the airborne effectiveness up to 40. Okay, now we got to establish a baseline here for this discussion about how good this thing is. First things first, let's talk base stats. When I talk about the stats and then the perk pool on the forgiveness, I'm going to be comparing it against other notable sidearms of the same family. I keep getting these questions about how is it compared to the Drang, right? But I'm going to be comparing it to other aggressive 2-round burst sidearms because the forgiveness, that's what it is. It is an aggressive 2-round burst sidearm. Comparing apples to oranges doesn't really help with the discussion overall. It's best to compare it against other things within its same subfamily. It'd be like comparing a palindrome to an igneous hammer. It's just, that's a weird comparison to draw. So this puts it in the same family as the Empirical Evidence, the new Throne World sidearm from Witch Queen, and in the same family as Brass Attacks from the Season of the Chosen, and a Breachlight way back from Dawn. So the forgiveness has a base range value of 60. Okay, that's big. The empirical evidence, it's got a base range of 52. Brass attacks has a base range of 41. So right out of the gate, it's looking really good in the range department. Now, I do have to mention brass attacks. People keep bringing this up. Brass attacks does have a zoom value of 13 as opposed to the 12 of both forgiveness and empirical evidence. But brass attacks, as much as I love that gun, I mean, I've got thousands of PvP kills on that thing. But one of the things that you do have to consider that sort of offsets maybe the extra range that you get with that zoom value is that brass attacks does have a pretty rough bounce severity, so you end up spending perk slots trying to correct that to get you that nice vertical recoil direction, while the other sidearms of this family tend to have pretty good recoil as it is and low bounce severity, so you can focus on more things like range with your barrels and your mag options. So while the zoom value is 13, yes, as with everything in this game, there's no one thing that is the be-all, end-all. Oh, it's got 13 zoom value. That doesn't work like that. This thing bounces bad, so while it has that increased zoom value, landing consistent shots at those deeper ranges is not quite as easy. So, looping back to the forgiveness, it has the best range of the three by a fair amount, and has a pretty low bounce intensity at 4, so you can land shots at those deeper ranges, no problem. Moving on to stability. Forgiveness clocks in at 41 base stability, while the others have 33 and 38. So again, best in class. So more range, more stability. It's looking pretty good so far for the forgiveness. Handling on the forgiveness is 39. Again, best in class, with the others having 34 and 36. So far it's 3 for 3. Aim assist on the forgiveness, 90 compared to the others at 85, 89. Not a ton more, but again, it's the best of the three. So you're seeing where this conversation is headed. Airborne effectiveness on the forgiveness is 25 base compared to empirical evidence at 21, brass attacks at 12. Look, at the end of the day, here's the bottom line. The forgiveness outclasses all of its competition in almost every single meaningful category. Best range, best stability, best handling, best aim assist, best airborne effectiveness. It's a stat monster. It's absolutely a monster in the base stats department. Cream of the crop, creme de la creme, king of the court. So imagine now that you get the adept version of this gun, and all of those stat values, they get a little bit of a boost, even further separating this thing from the rest of the pack. Now imagine you toss on adept Icarus or adept stability, and this thing doesn't just pull away from the pack, it lunges away from the pack. So is that it? Is that the end of the discussion? Do we crown this baby the king of sidearms and call it a day? Not quite, were it so easy. The aggressive 2-round burst sidearms have a pretty rich history and well-defined roles. So between the smuggler's word, breach light, brass attacks, empirical evidence, there are things that we've come to expect out of a perk pool for an aggressive 2-round burst sidearm. And this is where things get, frankly, weird with the forgiveness. The forgiveness is blatantly missing many of the most popular and well-loved perks on these sidearms. It is notably missing all of the following perks: rangefinder, tap the trigger, zen moment, opening shot, rampage, kill clip, under pressure, quick draw, threat detector, surplus, swashbuckler, perpetual motion, tunnel vision, encore, and adagio. These perks are some of the most well-loved and best perks in class for the aggressive 2-round burst sidearms. I mean, the fact that none of them, not a single one of them, is represented in the perk pool for the forgiveness, it's not only confounding to me, it's almost offensive. We waited so long to get an adept sidearm, and it's mind-boggling that when we finally get one, Bungie decides to go a completely wonky direction with its perk pool. The adept hand cannons and snipers, hey, they get all the S-tier perks that you've come to look for on those weapons. They got the rangefinder, kill clip, quick draw, snapshot, opening shot, all of those awesome consistent perks that you know and love. But the forgiveness, it takes the base bones of an incredible sidearm and decides to complement it with a strange and niche perk pool. So let's break down that perk pool. In the first column, you've got Demolitionist, Subsistence, Well-Rounded, Moving Target, Air Assault, and Killing Wind. In the second column, you've got Rapid Hit, Adrenaline Junkie, Vorpal Weapon, Multi-Kill Clip, Harmony, and Fragile Focus. 6 perks in each column. The glaring omission of those previously mentioned perks, well, it hurts a lot. It hurt a lot when I first set my eyes on this perk pool. There are some decent perks in here with some decent build synergy, for sure. I'm not trying to say everything here is trash, but if you're just looking for a good and consistent sidearm with perks that lean into the neutral performance of the gun, you're basically out of luck here. Almost all of these perks require a specific action before they'll kick in. They're very conditional perks. Subsistence. What's the conditions here? Subsistence requires a kill. Well-rounded requires a grenade or charge to melee first. Air assault requires you to get really hurt. Killing wind requires a kill. Rapid hit requires multiple headshots. Adrenaline junkie requires a kill or a grenade kill. Multi-kill clip requires a kill and a reload. Harmony requires a kill with a different weapon. And fragile focus is gone the second you get hurt. All in all, there are some decent combinations in here, but I'm ultimately unimpressed with this pool. The base gun is remarkable, it's exceptional, but the perks had a chance to take this sidearm to new heights. And those heights, as far as I'm concerned, those heights will remain unreachable for now while we settle for these perks. But it's not all doom and gloom. In the first column, I'm going to recommend 2 perks. Moving Target is a great choice. It grants a passive increase of 10 aim assist and reduces the ADS movement speed penalty by 3%. This is a solid buff to the neutral performance. Other than that, I'm going to lean hard into the after a kill perks. Okay, I'm going to lean hard into those after a kill perks and recommend Killing Wind. This has proven itself to be a great perk for sidearms when you want to chain kills. After you get a kill, you've got for 5 seconds, you've got plus 20 range, plus 50 mobility, plus 40 handling, and a 5% increase to the damage fall off distance. Those buffs are massive. This perk is remarkable. It's my #1 pick in the first column. Moving on to the second column, I'm going to recommend Adrenaline Junkie. At 1 stack, Adrenaline Junkie is going to drop Guardians with under 5 resilience in 2 bursts to the head. That's going to potentially launch your optimal TTK through the roof. At 2 stacks, all Guardians drop in 4 bullets. If you get a grenade kill, you're going to be doing 60 damage per headshot. Woo! Don't sleep on Adrenaline Junkie. Other than that, I recommend multi-kill clip. 1 stack is going to get you that 2 burst kill, and I think that those are your 2 best options, honestly. Pairing Killing Wind with Adrenaline Junkie or multi-kill clip is going to take what is already a stat monster and launch it into some wicked territories after a kill. This makes the weapon potentially the king of sidearms and 6s, where kill chaining it's a big part of what separates the player on the top of the scoreboard from the player on the bottom of the scoreboard. So that's my recommendation. Lean into that identity, the after a kill identity for sure. And there you have it. That's the Forgiveness. When the adept version of this gun drops some weekend in the future, I highly recommend that you go chasing one. This thing at its base outclasses every other sidearm in its family. I've got hundreds of kills on this thing already. It sits on the throne alone at the top for sure in base stats, but when you consider the perk pool, well, your best bet is to lean into the kill chaining potential for sure. Thank you so much for watching the video today. Feel free to leave a like on it, only if you enjoyed it, and subscribe for additional Destiny 2 content. I live stream 4 to 5 days a week here on YouTube. If you hit the bell, you'll get notified whenever I go live. Sometimes I do trials carries, especially on Mondays. Sometimes we do dungeon runs with viewers, but normally I'm just playing PvP solo and engaging in conversations with you all in the live chat. If you're interested in seeing some live streams that you missed, check out my live streams playlist where all of my streams get archived for later viewing. Be warm and well fed, my friends, and I hope to catch you in the Crucible.